Few songs in music history are as misunderstood or as disturbingly brilliant as Closer by 9 Inch Nails. To most people, it's the ultimate song about lust, raw, explicit, and animalistic. But to Trent Reznor, the man behind 9 Inch Nails, Closer wasn't about sex at all. It was about self-hatred, about using desire, control, and pain as a way to escape from the crushing weight of your own mind. I wanna F you like an animal. This line became one of the most notorious lyrics of the 1990s. Banned, censored, remixed, and endlessly misinterpreted. But beneath that provocative hook lies a devastating confession. This song isn't about wanting someone. It's about wanting to destroy yourself through them.
Help me get away from myself.
On the surface, Closer sounds like a song about seduction, but listen closer, and it reveals itself as a song about obsession, emptiness, and self-loathing. The narrator is not confident or dominant. He's broken. He's chasing intimacy through something mechanical and hollow, using sex as a substitute for connection. When Reznor wrote Closer, he wasn't celebrating lust. He was exposing how desire can be poisoned by shame and self-hatred. It's not about love. It's about trying to fill an emotional void that can't be filled. The infamous line, "You get me closer to God," isn't spiritual, it's sarcastic. It's Reznor's way of saying, if I can't reach God through faith, maybe I can through sin. It's a false transcendence, a desperate attempt to feel something in a life that's gone emotionally numb. Closer sits at the heart of 9 Inch Nails' 1994 masterpiece, The Downward Spiral, a concept album about one man's psychological collapse. Every song on the record traces another step in his descent, from anger and rebellion to addiction, degradation, and finally, self-deletion. Closer is track 5, The Breaking Point. By this stage, the protagonist has rejected society, morality, and love. He's searching for meaning in the most destructive way possible, through physical control and domination. In March of the Pigs, he lashes out at the world. But in Closer, the violence turns inward. It becomes a twisted kind of intimacy, where pleasure and pain blur into the same emotion. This is where the spiral truly begins, where lust becomes a mask for despair. The Mark Romanek-directed music video for Closer is one of the most iconic and disturbing videos ever made. It's not pornographic. It's psychological horror. Every image in it is a symbol of decay, corruption, and self-destruction. Let's break a few down. The mechanical heart. A heart made of wires and pistons beats in the dark. Cold, unfeeling, synthetic. It's the perfect metaphor for the song itself. Love and humanity stripped down to machinery. Emotion turned mechanical. Desire without warmth. The pig's head. A severed pig's head spinning on a lab device. Grotesque, sterile, almost scientific. It references the album's obsession with pigs, a symbol for corruption, degradation, and dehumanization. In this world, even flesh is mechanical. Even life is reduced to a lab experiment. Reznor bound and gagged. Trent Reznor himself appears bound, gagged, suspended. A literal image of humiliation and loss of control. It's his mind turned inside out. The embodiment of someone trapped in their own desire, both the victim and the perpetrator. The crucified monkey. One of the most shocking images, a monkey tied to a cross. This isn't blasphemy for its own sake. It's a statement on false spirituality, a world where the sacred has become profane, where the search for God has turned grotesque. It echoes the lyric, "You get me closer to God." But here, God is silent. The search for meaning ends in corruption. Blindfolded Reznor. In some shots, Reznor is blindfolded, refusing to see his own decay. He's literally blind to the self-destruction consuming him, lost in the illusion that pleasure can bring peace. The lab itself. The video's entire setting feels like a decaying laboratory, a place of experimentation, control, and detachment. It's not a space of healing, but of dissection, where the human soul is placed under a microscope and found wanting.
Let me complicate you.
When Closer was released, it exploded. Despite, or maybe because of, its explicit lyrics, it became a massive hit. MTV censored it, radio stations banned it, and fans turned it into a club anthem. But here's the irony. The more people danced to it, the more they missed the point. Reznor had actually tried to make it uncommercial. He and producer Flood deliberately included the explicit lyric, "I Wanna F," to make the song too shocking for radio, but it backfired. The beat was too good, and the hook too addictive. Even censored, it dominated the airwaves. Reznor once said, "It's sad that something I wrote about self-hatred became a strip club anthem." Musicians like Tommy Lee called it the greatest F song ever written, exactly what Reznor didn't want. The world had turned his emotional breakdown into background music for a party. To understand Closer, you have to understand where Trent Reznor was in 1994. He wasn't just playing a character, he was the character. He's described that period of his life as an unending bottomless pit of rage and self-loathing. Despite his success, he felt completely empty. He locked himself away for days, riding the downward spiral, pouring every ounce of misery and self-disgust into it. He said it was like slicing up my guts and seeing what spills out on the paper. The result was a raw, brutal honesty that made Closer both horrifying and magnetic. It wasn't a performance, it was therapy through noise. And if the music wasn't dark enough, the recording location made it even darker. Reznor recorded the downward spiral in a house with a horrifying past, 10050 Cielo Drive, the site of the 1969 Manson family murders. He named his studio Les Pigs, a reference to the word pig written in Sharon Tate's blood on the front door. It was a shocking, even tasteless move, but it perfectly matched the album's themes of decay and moral collapse. Reznor has said that he didn't fully grasp the emotional weight of that choice until he met Sharon Tate's sister years later, when she asked him, "Do you realize you're exploiting my sister's death?" He said that moment hit him like a brick. It forced him to confront the darkness he'd been romanticizing, and it haunted him. When the house was demolished, he kept the front door, a literal relic of his descent, and installed it in his New Orleans studio. Today, Reznor looks back on Closer and the downward spiral with mixed feelings. He calls it a time capsule, a snapshot of a younger man drowning in pain and confusion. He said, "Revisiting those songs still breaks my heart and excites me, but there's a pride too. Because Closer did what few songs ever do. It broke every rule and still conquered the mainstream. It proved that darkness could seduce, that a song about self-destruction could sound beautiful enough for radio, and that sometimes the most misunderstood art says the most about us as listeners." So the next time you hear Closer in a movie, a club, or a playlist, remember, it's not a song about desire. It's a confession about despair. It's not about getting closer to someone. It's about losing yourself completely. Trent Reznor tried to show us the ugliness inside him. We just happened to dance to it. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more Song Meanings Explained, where we uncover the stories, symbolism, and raw emotion behind the music that defines generations. And if you feel like you really learned something today, consider sending us a super thanks. Your support will go a long way towards helping me feed these crazy two little dogs. Oh, I look at them, they're so cute. From Man Bear Cow, Luna, and Pirate, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Happy dog, I'm a happy dog, I'm a happy dog.